Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's episode of the SaaS Marketing Show. So I'm really excited about this one today, as I'm joined by Carolina, who is the head of marketing at Surfer. So Surfer is a leading tool in the on-page SEO category, revolutionizing the on-page SEO and content creation process. Carolina, I'm excited to have you here. Welcome to the show.
Hey Dylan, thank you so much for having me. You're my only Zoom call for today, so let's do this.
Cool, I'm glad to hear that. So today we're going to be talking specifically about how Surfer drove over 100,000 new users to your Chrome extension in 7 months, which is a really cool topic to dive into. Before we do that though, I want to just share some kind of business focused metrics so everyone can get a good understanding of who you guys are and what you're all about. I know that pretty much I would guess any PPC marketer or any content marketer within the SaaS world listening to this, I would hope they would already know a little bit about you guys. But let's jump into, you told me in the email that we had like back and forth before we started this podcast that there's a few things that you're able to share in terms of like company size and stuff like that. But before we jump into that, maybe you could share a bit more about the story of the business. Because I know you said that you kind of earned the first revenue back in 2018, focusing on the Polish market then, and things have expanded since then. So maybe just give a quick kind of overview of the story since you've been working with the company too. I think that'd be great.
Yeah, it's a great pleasure. Sure. So the company came to its existence back in 2017. We are a Polish-based business and we are fully bootstrapped at this very moment. So back then it was kind of side project for our CEO, our CTO, and a few other founders that we have in our team right now. So they started doing this on-page SEO tool that was used in our CEO's, Sławek Czajkowski's agency, and he used it just internally. Then they released it to a wider audience, and the response was just overwhelmingly positive. So quickly they decided to just, dress it up in some nicer design and push it to the audience. In 2018, the team that was 5 people strong at that moment, they released the Black Friday promotion, and that was the first customers for Surfer. There were like about 20 people on the Polish market who purchased the yearly subscription, the first income for the company, the first validation, and that was the very, very first step to the Polish market. But right now, Polish customers are just like 15% of our user base, because in 2019, we decided that we want to focus mostly on the America, on the UK, on the English-speaking markets. They were much more approachable for us since we were in touch with many influencers from the SEO world. So it was easier for us to just get to those markets, and they really understand the value that we offer with our on-page optimization tool. So now it's 2020, we have over 2,000 customers and we grow by 10% every month, over 10%. It slowed down for us a little bit because of the coronavirus, but we're still profitable and we're super happy to keep growing. And at this moment, we are 13 people on board. We have 6 programmers and let's say 6 or 7 and 7 people who are just like, let's say, business people with the support, sales, marketing, this kind of things. So yeah, it's been a really, really exciting 2 years for us.
Awesome. Yeah. Thank you so much for sharing. It's great to hear like such good growth as well over the last couple of years for a fully bootstrapped business and a small team as well. So that's,
yes.
I know you also said like you're generating around 250, 300 trials a week at the moment. I don't know how accurate that still is, but I also wanted to talk about one thing that, so the reason I found out about you guys and know of you guys is because of the Chrome extension, Keyword Surfer, which we're going to talk about how you kind of drove some of the new registration for that. But before we jumped into that, obviously that's not the main product, right? That's not where all of the revenue is for you guys. So I'm interested to find out, when it comes to marketing for Surfer, has the Keyword Surfer, the Chrome extension, has that always been the idea to kind of use that as a top of funnel marketing play to get people into then to the platform that you guys have? Or how did that idea kind of come about?
It was very spontaneous, to be completely honest, because, a year ago we were around 500 customers. Now it's like 4 times more, right? So we were all over the place, to be honest. We were a very small company back then, 7 people exactly. And we were talking about different marketing opportunities. We didn't feel confident enough to start doing full-blown content strategy or SEO strategy, because it's so difficult in this niche to just get the visibility that we wanted. So we were thinking about other ways. And one of those ideas was to create the Chrome extension that we will talk about more. And it was somewhere in the summer that we were just loosely talking about the data that we have and what can we do to just increase this brand awareness, to just build the trust, to just build the visibility. That's because we didn't have extensive marketing budgets, right? We couldn't spend money on advertisement, for example, for PPC, this kind of things. We were too small to focus on content as much as we wanted. So we were talking about this, and then in September, we came back to this topic, and our CTO, Lucian Suski, he just decided in one weekend to create some kind of an MVP. It was crazy. Like, I always knew that companies need great developers, but when I saw that in just a weekend, we could get the first look at the tool that right now has over 100K users, that was really, really something. And of course, it was a little bit of a mess, but we could still use it internally and check it with our network, with our user base, and they got really, really excited. But that wasn't like the final push for us because it still needed some design, right? Some design work, implementation. We needed to do everything we could to avoid bug reports, because we couldn't handle bug reports for our free tool, right? Because it didn't bring us money directly. And we didn't have a support team that we have right now, for example. So there was no one who could handle all those requests coming from keyword surfer users. Yeah, so there was this push, and that was that Keywords Everywhere, which was very common, very popular extension for Chrome. It became a paid tool. They had a free tool that was very, very popular, and they decided that they want to, people to pay for it to monetize their business finally, which is, an obvious step, right? So for us, it was a great moment to just release what we had at this very moment. So we didn't have a designer on our team, and Lucian, who created the code, he also designed the extension, and it looked okay, right? It was kind of good. We had databases for 15 locations. Keyword Surfer was a decent tool that gave a first glimpse on the estimated domain traffic, on the search volumes for the keywords directly in Google search. So we released it very, very fast, and we just wanted to see what will happen, and it really blown out. It was really something to see so many people posting about it, tweeting about Keyword Surfer. They got really, really excited, but there was one big flaw that we had at this moment, and that is not having the United States database. So a lot of people were asking us to introduce the US database. It was just super expensive for us at this moment. So we decided to wait, and we wanted to focus on our paid product too, right? Because we also couldn't make our developers working on the extension, because we had new features in our backlog, we had a roadmap that included so many new stuff that our users requested from us. So we wanted to focus on this too. So there was a huge conference in November, that is Chiang Mai SEO conference. And that the whole team joined in November 2019. So when we were there, there was a huge buzz around Surfer, because it was kind of new for many people who are used to tools like Ahrefs or Moz. And Surfer paid tools were focusing mostly on content optimization in quite innovative way. People got really excited about this, and we decided it's, for us, it's a great moment to introduce those databases. So we really spent a lot of money and time to introduce those. But when we did, we got, additional buzz that really felt like it was for free from top influencers from the SEO world, and everyone on the conference. It was like 1,000 of people were talking about the extension, about our tools. So that was a really big hit, and that was a big social proof for us that this is a good move for us. And that's why it's still an important part of our marketing efforts.
Yeah, that's such a great story. Thank you for sharing that too. Because I remember like that's how I found out about Keyword Surfer was when I was using not using it too often, but I always had keywords everywhere, like downloaded and in my
Yeah.
browser. And I remember the day when they changed it to paid, and like because I didn't use it that much, I was like, oh, it's a nice to have, but it's not a necessity. I wonder if there's something else. And I remember seeing you guys. So I think it's a combination of like really good timing of when you did launch, but then also like building out a really good extension too. So let's talk about that, because I know over the last couple months, you guys kind of relaunched a 2.0 version of Keyword Snapper, and you've had some really good success in terms of driving lots of downloads for this Chrome extension. So, what from a top level, what are some of the things that you've done to market the Chrome extension recently with the relaunch? I know you said you had some cool tips that you wanted to share with people.
Yeah, definitely. So first of all, the first version had a lot of flaws. The design was a little bit off, and the whole tool didn't represent our paid tools as well as we wanted. Since Server is firstly an on-page SEO tool, we wanted the extension to reflect that. So we added new metrics, for example, word count of every page that is ranking in the search results, or exact keyword usage on those pages. That's super useful for planning content, this kind of things. So the second version included this kind of things. The whole look and feel of the extension got a huge upgrade, and we wanted to do this the proper way. So I think that, to be completely honest, I think that the extension the second version of the extension wouldn't be that successful if we didn't do a lot of other stuff that we did around our paid tools, right? Around our paid product. So we had a great network of people around us. Our founders spent a lot of time talking to people. They ask for feedback. They are still in touch with them. We built our user base a lot and our email base too. So we have 2,000 or 3,000 new people on our email list every month. So suddenly we ended up with an email list that was 20,000 people, which was really exciting. And we decided to do a launch on Product Hunt, which was also a great experiment for us, since none of us had any experience with the Product Hunt, and it's a big question mark. And I knew back then that Product Hunt is not exactly about having the best product. That's my opinion. It's sometimes about getting the right promotion around the tool. And we decided to push it really hard when it comes to Product Hunt. We decided that we want this product of the day, we want this product of the week badge, which is just kind of thing that doesn't matter on your bottom line, but we wanted to see it. Maybe it could help us, maybe it couldn't, but still something worth investigating. So we had this email list. We had influencers on our site who really wanted to help us promoting our free and paid tools. We had our social media, we had our website and our product. And we also, so for example, we included the information about the Product Hunt release on our website and on our live chat window. And we knew that users who use Surfer really loved our tool, which is the most important thing when it comes to marketing, to have audience and users who love your tool. Because if you have those followers, if you have your group of people who really appreciate your work, they see the value in your tool, they will be happy to upvote, to reshare, to just tweet about something that you have just released. And this is I think this is the big secret, to have satisfied users, to have happy clients. Because when we released Keyword Surfer on Product Hunt, we got the second place in product of the day, let's say. After one day, we had 700 upvotes, which was really great. And not only the upvotes, but we got 100 of comments from people complimenting the tool, but also giving us some feedback, which we always try to respond as fast, not only in terms of communication, but in terms of product. So we took very seriously what they felt about the product, and we tried to fix all the things right away, so the product is flawless. So I think this is the big secret. It's not a secret, but it's a big secret, to have an audience, to have users who will love your product, because there are products out there that I know that users use because they are kind of forced to. They kind of, they have no choice. for example, they use one CRM for 2 years, they hate it, but the migration is a nightmare, so they will stick to it. And this is something very different with Surfer. People use our tool because they see results, and that's why they are willing to do whatever to help us grow our product and to help us remain Keyword Surfer for free as it is for today.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you so much for sharing that. I'm interested in the product hunt launch too, because I just have it on screen as well. I can see that there's like
great
1,200 upvotes that it ended up with. Like how much did that drive a significant amount of traffic to the website, to the Chrome extension? I'm always fascinated because I personally haven't done a product hunt launch for a long time now. The last time I did one was when I was at Leadfeeder, and that would have been maybe 3 years ago, I think. I haven't been like actively involved in one for a long time. Obviously, I'm always taking a look and watching, and I know that it's such a big go-to strategy for generating a significant uptick in like website traffic as well. How is it still? Like, was it a good move for you guys to do that? I know you said earlier on a lot of it was because you just wanted that you wanted that feedback, you wanted that social proof and stuff like that as well. But did it also benefit in terms of sending like people to the website, people signing up? How much of an impact did the product hunt launch have?
I was honestly surprised with the number of visitors who landed on our landing page with Keyword Surfer. So at the first day of the promotion, we got around 5,000 page views directly from Product Hunt, exclusively from Product Hunt. And by this day, we get around 10,000 visits on our landing page from Product Hunt. And every day we get 50, 60 visits on this landing page from Product Hunt, which is really surprising for me, to be honest.
Even still now? Even still to this?
Yes, I checked it before our call and I was really surprised.
Because like I had heard some people saying in various different SaaS like groups and communities that it's not what it used to be anymore, but like that definitely makes it sound like it still is pretty useful, right? And pretty good activity.
Yeah, I know that would be more useful if I told you that yes, and we got from Product Hunt this amount of trials, but it's not the case for us, right? And I know that this is also very different when you promote a free Chrome extension and when you promote a new feature in your page tool and you invite people for a trial, for example. So for us, the visibility was really top-notch, I would say, and it really opened us to a new audience because usually our target group is mostly advanced SEOs. This is something we just feel this target group. We have great connection with them, and we wanted also to open up to marketers, to content marketers. So very, very different target group. They have different needs. They have different understanding of SEO. And I believe that Product Hunt really had an impact on these target groups for us. So if you have a similar tool that is free, that can help a lot of people, that is not very niche, Product Hunt is very good. If you have very niche product that will only appeal to a very narrow target group, I would say Product Hunt is very time-consuming and risky move, and it can bring no results for you in the long term.
Yeah, that's really good advice. Okay, so I wanted to ask some questions about like Keyword Surfer, Chrome extension, and how that is tying into like business results for your main like product, right? As well. I know that because I have Keyword Surfer like installed, and I know that there's like the CTA, which I see every time I open it, which can drive me through to your site. I'm interested to find out, I guess this is two questions. The first one is like how successful it's being at driving people like new trials for Surfer itself, and then also like some of the experiments that you've tried already to improve that number and pull more people across as well. But maybe we start with like how effective is it for you guys like having this extension there? I know some of the stuff you can't measure in terms of like how good it is for brand awareness and people building that affinity with the brand. But like, I know that some people listening to this would also be interested in like just some like cold hard numbers, and it's fine if you don't want to share specifically, but like, is it one of your most successful channels for bringing like new visits to the main site and trial signups for the main product, or what does that look like?
Sure. So I would say that Keyword Surfer is great for our brand visibility. We really just, a bit of a background. The second version was released at the end of the April. So it's been around 1 month since we released this version, which is corresponding with our audience much better. So we managed to generate over 50 trials directly from the extension. So that will probably translate in around 5 to 10 paid subscribers, which is, not very much when you think about it like this. And that's fine for us, to be honest. We also managed to convert them to our leads, so they left our emails and they subscribed to other content that we have to download on the landing page that is linked in the extension. So our email list really blown out, and we have right now 100 of people sign up every day to our email list in this way or another. So I have no idea how it's going to end up, to be honest, because it's been just a month, and we're really excited to see how it will end for us, because those people are usually, it will take probably from 1 to 3 months to see if they will convert. But seeing this email list growing is very, very exciting for us, and I'm really looking forward to see how it goes. We do some A/B tests, for example, on this landing page. We had some tests in place. One has just finished, and I'm willing to optimize this page a little bit more. We also want to promote this extension further. So, for example, we treat Keyword Surfer as a way to get backlinks to our website. As I mentioned, we decided not to do SEO and content marketing because it was too early for us, and it's so difficult to, compete with Ahrefs, with Search Engine Journal or HubSpot, for example. They post a lot of great SEO content. But now that our domain got much stronger because of Keyword Surfer, we really opened up to those other channels, and we want to focus on content and SEO in the next months.
Awesome. Yeah, that's really exciting. Thank you for sharing that. And also, it's good to hear that you've had direct trial signups as a result of the extension, but also, like you mentioned, if you're getting 100 additional people on the email list every single day, that can never be a negative thing, right?
Oh yeah.
Don't know how long it's going to take potentially, but when you have a bit more data, as you said, you only relaunched it last month or April, but that's I think everybody would love to be in a position where they're driving consistently an additional 100 subscribers on the email list each day, and having someone using a free version of their tool and building that affinity towards it. And now, as you said, now that the extension is there and that people are using it, I know that at the beginning it sounds like it was quite time intensive, but now that it's there, it's just the constant updates and then any content that you decide to do off the back of it,
yeah.
right? It's not like you're having to constantly spend every day on PPC campaign to get those 100 email signups kind of thing, right? It's
it's happening organically. This is really, really amazing that we have so many people on this one. I'm talking about this one landing page, and this one landing page that is linked in this extension really brings us those leads, and this is really, really amazing. So, but there are so many other things about Keyword Surfer, like those influencers who also mentioned the Keyword Surfer. They really bring us this organic traffic to our website through the Keyword Surfer. This is something that we couldn't even imagine to end up this well for us, but it's still work in progress. I have so many ideas to, optimize those emails that we have, these landing pages, all those posts that we are planning in the future. This is a lot of work for us, and it's really hard to pick what to focus on at this very moment because it's so exciting, but now it's time for content and SEO for us.
That's really exciting. So just a couple of final questions for someone that's listening to this. If maybe they have their own Chrome extension or they have a freemium version of their product, I think you guys have had some pretty good success from everything that you've shared so far, from when it first launched to the relaunch in April. What would be if I know there's so many things to think about here, but what would be one tip that you would give someone if they already have an extension or a freemium product and they're looking to drive more people to that or increase the download numbers of that?
So my number one tip would be to ask directly for feedback, as many people as possible. So you can do that directly via LinkedIn, emails, this kind of things. You can reach out to many people, but you have to believe, you have to know that the thing that you're offering is really, really unique. No one wants to hear about tools that are already somewhere out there, right, that are serving the same purpose and this kind of thing. So if you know that your value proposition is unique, reach out to as many people as you can and ask for feedback. If they like your tool, there is a very, very high chance that they will link to it eventually, that they will share it with their networks. And this is like my number one tip when it comes to free stuff that you give away to your audience, to your community. Make sure that it's a highly linkable content. It's not just high quality, because high quality means it can be something that's already on the web. You need to focus on something that's highly linkable for influencers in your niche.
Awesome. Yeah, that's really good advice. Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay. And then just the two final questions. So I ask these to everybody that comes on this show. What's one thing that you're finding challenging at the moment within marketing for Surfer or for Keyword Surfer?
Oh, everything is super challenging for us since, we are a very young team. We are, when it comes to our company size, we're 14 people, and our marketing team is 2 people plus, let's say, our co-founders. They are partly in product, partly in marketing, and it's really hard to just, manage the whole team to push ourselves forward for us. So it's, hard to organize our time in the most efficient way. But right now we are focusing on consistency. We have this highly linkable content in place. We have people linking to us. Now we need to just sit down and start pushing a lot of content. This is the number one priority for us, to start our YouTube channel, to start our blog in this way that we always wanted to do. I'm content marketer at my core, so this is something that I really, really want to do for Surfer. And I've seen the results that other companies get from it. And I think this is the right moment for us to start focusing on that. So I would say that consistency is the number one thing that we are focusing, the number one challenge for us. But I keep my fingers crossed.
Yeah, awesome. It's a good problem to have though, right? It means there's lots of exciting.
Yes, we're very lucky.
And then the last one is what's one thing that you guys are doing at the moment in marketing that you're super proud of? I'm assuming the extension and the promotion around that is probably still pretty top of mind for you with the launch recently. But yeah, what's the thing that you're kind of most proud of at the moment that you and the team are working on?
So I'm really proud of 2 things at this moment. The number one thing is our YouTube channel, and the thing that we try to specialize in very narrow stuff in our marketing team, and we talk a lot about growing as experts in our niches. So this is a huge step forward for us, for sure. So I'm very proud that, for example, my colleague Tomek Nizgoda is working on this YouTube channel, and he's doing a great job. And I really want to see what will happen after 10th episode, 20th episode. This is something that really keeps me up at night. And the second thing I'm really excited and proud of what we do at this moment is the hiring process that we have. So it is something very new for me, since I'm still very new in this role. It's been 3 or 4 months for me, and I have this privilege to, talk to our CEO and just say, hey man, we're just really need someone for the design team. Hey man, we just really need someone for the content team. We need experts on board. And he's like, sure, you know what you do, so go get them. And that's very exciting for me to just take part in this hiring process, to talk to great people, to see new opportunities. When I talk to different people with different personalities, with different backgrounds. So this is also something that keeps me up at night.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you so much for sharing that, and thank you for coming on today and sharing kind of behind the scenes of some of the awesome things that you guys have done to build out Surfer. It sounds like it's really exciting times for you, so yeah, I appreciate it.
Yes, it's been crazy, but it's very exciting. We're actually approaching our work like it's a second home. So we really like each other's company. We really like what we do. We really love our product, and seeing people appreciate our work is really everything. And I wish every marketer that they experience the same thing for themselves, because it feels awesome.
Awesome. That's great. Thank you so much for coming on today, Carolina. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you so much. It was really fun.